Okay, so online somebody asked about uh, whether the hormones were important. What did estrogen have to do with women's sports, etc. Um, and I wanted to discuss a little bit about that. Um, now, for a man like myself, we get estrogen by way of testosterone. There is a enzyme called aromatase, which breaks down testosterone and forms estrogen. Um, the testosterone, everybody knows, helps you build muscles. But some of the breakdown products actually help us with other things. Testosterone breaks down into dihydrotestosterone, and dihydrotestosterone gives us the maleness qualities. Um, uh, Without the ability to make DHT, men just have trouble becoming a man when they're in their puberty times. Um, we also need to have a little bit of estrogen because uh, uh, just like for women, estrogen is important for the bones. When a woman goes through menopause and their estrogen drops, that's when they have problems with osteoporosis because of lack of estrogen. Now, in the old days, we used to just go ahead and treat them with estrogen. It would get rid of their hot flashes, help them build bones. Everything was great. They thought it was, reduce their, risk of all kinds of diseases. Further studies were done, and it was realized that when you gave the woman estrogen after menopause, that there was an increased risk of breast cancer and other problems. So that was stopped. But estrogen is still important. Uh, for a man, if you don't have enough estrogen, you basically are not going to be able to have a libido. You're going to feel weak with a low estrogen level. Um, uh, so things just don't work quite right if you don't have enough estrogen. Um, for us men, unfortunately, estrogen is real kind of a critical element, and when you get too much of it, then you have other problems, such as man boobs. Actually, when a man gets older and his testosterone level drops, the estrogen that he still has starts causing problems. It seems to be causing problems with the prostate, with developing a breast tissue in the older gentleman, with impotence. So we can't have too much, we can't have too little. It just has to be just right. Now, for the women, um, of course, it's important. It gives them their femaleness and gives them their general health. So once they go through menopause and they lose the estrogen, they start having some problems with weakness, with hot flashes, with irritability, etc., difficulty sleeping, etc. So estrogen it is important in our lives. It also helps us with sports too, because estrogen is useful at building muscle. The weightlifters know this, that if they take certain of their steroids that don't make any estrogen, they can feel the lack of the estrogen. And they sometimes have to take some type of steroid in addition to give them enough estrogen to make them feel healthy. Like I said, it's a chemical balance. And these guys who use the anabolic steroids, they're playing chemistry set with their own body. So the estrogen is important for both men and women. Like I said, it helps your joints, helps the bones, helps us with a lot of things. Even though we always think about testosterone for sports, estrogen also is important. Okay, take care.